Richard here, and in this video I'm going to explain to you what most people do that sabotages the whole process when it comes to manifesting a specific person, and what they do that delays the whole process. Stick around till the end of this video to learn what this block is and how to actually fix this so it never affects you and you can manifest your specific person or your ex back into your life much faster. Before I get into it, if you want to get instant access to my digital ebook, Manifest Your Ideal Life Faster, I put the link in the description below. So go down there and click the link that's at the very top to get your free copy. But without further ado, let's get into it. Primary reason as to why most people elongate the process of manifesting their ex or their specific person back into their life is essentially having too much importance towards this person. And this importance, it stems from the fear of losing this person, or losing them, because they value that person very heavily. This fear of loss is what gets people into the law of attraction and using all these techniques. It's what gets people into manifestation and them trying out affirmations, scripting, visualizing, and the mainstream techniques that are often referred to. And because the person would value their ex or specific person so much, they feel the fear of losing this person, because most often they see this person as their other half. They think that if they had their specific person back into their life, they would feel complete. So because of this fear, they are tempted to get into the law of attraction and using all these techniques as a means of getting them back into their life. But what I've also realized when I went through this same process was the technique's effectiveness and how fast it gets you results is very dependent on what intent you have when using the technique. So for instance, if you use a technique out of fear and scarcity and just being doubtful and uncertain, then you may experience some level of success, but it's not going to be quite the results that you want to achieve. If you use a technique out of being relaxed and being in a state of faith and having trust, then that technique is going to show you the results that you do want in due time. Most people end up using these techniques out of fear and lack, because they don't want to lose their ex. They don't want to lose their specific person. So they'll use this technique. They'll do all the right things. They'll do whatever any other law of attraction expert tells them. They'll do whatever is necessary. They'll do everything right. Despite that, even if you do everything right, it doesn't mean that you're not attached emotionally. It doesn't mean that your importance isn't at a low level. It's very high. So because of this importance, you end up delaying the actual manifestation that you want, and you may manifest things that are very similar. So for instance, if you want to manifest a text from your ex, right? And you use all these techniques. You use affirmations, you use visualizing, you script, and you start manifesting text from other people who are interested in you, but not quite your specific person, right? You'll manifest text from the people whom you wouldn't have expected to receive a text from. But the only person who hasn't texted you yet is your specific person. This is all because of the amount of importance that's attributed to your specific person. In comparison to the people who have texted you, there's very little importance. But to your specific person, there's a lot of importance. But again, even if you use these techniques in a state of fear, you're still going to experience a certain level of success, but it's not going to be the results that you actually want. It'll feel a bit gimmicky, but because of this clinginess, because of this attachment to their specific person, they don't quite manifest the thing that they actually want, the reconciliation that they want, but they'll manifest things that are similar to it. And even if you don't feel emotionally attached right now, you may experience a setback, an unexpected setback that triggers a negative emotional reaction. But initially, before that setback, you did not feel negative, but you were still attached. And the reason I know this is because if you didn't feel negative when the setback occurred, you wouldn't have been attached, because if you weren't attached, you wouldn't have felt negative, right? Even if you felt high vibe before the initial setback, you'll still feel the pain when it does happen, because being attached does not require you to feel negative. It could also stem from positive emotion. So when the setback occurs, you're going to feel that pain and the sense of feeling incomplete, because you see your specific person as the thing that's going to complete you. And because of that, you'll find that this person is going to be pulled further and further away from you. And even if you feel high vibe initially and you think you're not attached, when the setback occurs, you're going to start complaining and throwing a fit and being a victim. If you're doing any of that, then that just shows that deep down you were attached. And that's okay. Everybody gets attached. The more aware you are about it, is the better you'll be able to handle these attachments, so they won't sabotage the manifestation process as much. The solution is to observe this attachment. It's to observe this fear of losing this specific person for good, instead of identifying too much with it and being the observer instead. So observing the fear, not being the direct participant, not being the fear, but observing the fear. Meaning that when the fear arises that you may very well lose your specific person, do not react to it. Don't try to avoid it through distracting yourself. And don't try to resist it inwardly because you think you're going to manifest more fear. Don't try to avoid any of it, and simply observe it. Observe the fear, because you are not the fear, but we tend to identify with the fear. What you need to do is to not identify with the fear and observe it. Don't react to it. Don't even try to deny that you're fearing. Just observe it, right? The thing that you must do next is to accept the fear and the unwanted possibility manifesting into your life. So, accepting the idea that your specific person may not come back to you, accepting the possibility that your specific person may get together with a third party, and the sort. Accepting those possibilities and acknowledging that they are very well possible. And I know this probably seems very counterintuitive. So to explain further on acceptance, what acceptance does is it essentially releases any resistance that you hold towards what you do want. Most people, they spend their time inwardly fighting with what they don't want. They use these techniques to not manifest something, rather than to move towards an ideal life or to move towards their particular desire. They spend their time trying to resist what they don't want, instead of moving towards the lifeline or reality that they do want. And if you think about it, their attention is hooked onto what they don't want. So they just delay the process for even longer. The same thing applies to manifesting your specific person. If you're trying not to manifest them getting together with a third party, or to manifest them not blocking you, or to manifest them not leaving you, then that is exactly what you're going to get, because your attention is fixated on that very thing. So you're only feeding it and giving it power because you're fearing it as well. But when you can accept the possibility that those events, those things could very well manifest, you release any resistance that you've held towards what you do want. So then you could focus and give more attention to the lifeline and reality that you do want, which is obviously them reconciling with you and your specific person getting together, right? That is the reality that you do want to manifest. But if you want to get there, you need to accept the unwanted possibility first, because you have to release that resistance and allocate more attention and energy towards what you do want, rather than simply trying to fight what you don't want and getting more of that. So this is the power of acceptance, and this is why acceptance is so key. You must accept that, yes, it could happen. There's no denying that. It's happened before, but I choose to experience the opposite. But I still accept this. There's no need to fight it. If you don't want to manifest something, you cannot fight it. You need to just accept it and move on. And to wrap this video up, I do want to note that if you sincerely want to manifest your specific person back, everything that I've just said is bound to happen one way or another. Because even if you're not willing to accept that the unwanted events could very well manifest, if you actually want to manifest them, you're going to attach too much importance towards those wanted events and even the unwanted events. And so when you have too much importance, you create this imbalance in the field of nature. And this attachment, this importance, is going to be lowered in an effort for you to bring in your specific person. So even if you're not willing to let go, you're going to experience events that tackle this attachment and rattle your sense of belief in order for you to really come to that point of acceptance. So this is completely inevitable. We don't really have a choice if you actually want to manifest your specific person. But if you want to deliberately manifest them, then you must deliberately accept that, yes, the unwanted events can happen. By deliberately lowering this importance, life, God, or the system does not have to do it for you. You can simply do it yourself. So there's no point in being stubborn if you already know that you can do it yourself. So with that, I conclude this video, and I hope you found this video very helpful. And if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you'll be notified of whenever I post a new video like this one. If you want to watch a video that I made that goes into the 3 tips of letting go of your specific person and letting go of this firm attachment of losing them and, constantly feeling tied down to them, and if they don't communicate with you, you're going to feel empty. If you want to let go of them in order to manifest them back faster into your life, I highly recommend that you watch this video because it is one of my best videos. And if you want to get instant access to my free book, Manifest Your Ideal Life Faster, and in this book, I go into the 5 inner principles that you need to manifest your ideal life and keep it. Keep in mind that you can manifest your specific person into your life and still lose them. But by using the 5 inner principles in that book, you will be able to shift your identity to that person who is attractive and who is confident and who is committable, so you can manifest your specific person or ex, but you'll actually keep them and you'll commit to each other, and you guys won't split again, because you can use a technique and still break up with them once more. Again, if you want to get instant access to this book, I put the link at the very top in the description below, so just go down there and click that link to get these 5 inner principles. And without further ado, see you next time. Peace.